So we have 3 children, Evan, Freddie, and Gary. Okay, and they had the same number of coins. Okay, now when y'all see the keyword same, right? Okay, there are a few methods that you should think. Okay, that you can use for primary 6. Okay, anybody can tell me when you see the keyword same, what kind of methods should you be using? Hey. Oh, hello, Jia Kai. I remember you're Jia Kai, right? Pika. Yeah, when you see the keyword same, what method can you use? Common difference. Okay, the common difference is when they minus the same amount. Okay, but when like at first they really have the same, what kind of method can you use? Okay, Chloe says ratio, very good. If they have the same, can be ratio is 1:1 or 1:1:1, depending on how many people, right? Very good. Okay, there is another method, okay, other than ratio. It's also very important because you need that sometimes to solve, especially for this question. When you see equal, I still haven't got any answer that I want. Okay, Alvin says model, very good. Yes. So when you see same, either you think of ratio, if not you think of model. Yeah? So which one do you use? Okay, it really depends on what are the clues given. Over here, okay, Evan and Freddie each had a mix of 20 cent and 50 cent. Evan had 7 20-cent coins and Freddie had 17 20-cent coins. Gary only had 50-cent coins. Now, if you like read all this information, right, you will realize that definitely model is easier for you to do this question because you draw a model, you can fill in the clues, which are the 7 20-cent coins and the 17 20-cent coins. Okay, so Evan, Freddie, Gary, if they have the same, you can just draw like a model, right, whereby they all have the same equal size, like something like that first. Okay, Gary has 25. Okay, I think I remember the answer was something like that. Okay, Jia Kai, this question is extra, so you can just take a look first. Okay, later we are gonna go back to RGS to do a similar question. Okay, now Evan and Freddie each have 20 cent and 50 cent. So Evan and Freddie have 20 cent and 50 cent. Okay, exactly how many I don't know, but I know Evan had 7 20-cent coins, so I can cut a 7 right here. And I know this 7, right, it represents how many 20-cent coins. Okay, whereas Freddie has 17 20-cent coins. So what I will do is I will cut a 17. Okay, I will cut a 17 20-cent coin. However, right, okay, for your model, you always have to do this thing that can help you analyze better. It's called making. Anybody can continue that sentence for me? Making. A very important technique for model you need to do so you can make sense of the model is making something. Okay, who can tell me making what? Okay, for this one I will split out the model a bit because I need space to go and label this is also 20 cent. Okay, so I'm going to split out the G a little bit. Okay, so let me fill up like that. Okay, and then the G, maybe I'll just give it a bit more space. They have the same, right? Okay, something like this. Wow, very good making equal parts, making parts the same. Angela, you're not a student at our center, right? But wow, you know it, very good. Okay, so making parts equal, exactly. So if you cut a 7 here, right, you need to cut a 7 here also. Making parts equal. Okay, that's a very important technique for model. Okay, so you cut it down. 17, if you cut the 7, this one, it must be a 10. Okay, and we know this 17 are 20-cent coins according to the question. So this whole thing is your 20-cent coins. Okay, if you manage to fill up this until this part already, right, then you can continue to fill up. You see, if you got 20-cent coin, they also got 50-cent coin. So then, if you already fill up 20-cent coin in front, behind all this, right, it must be, okay, number of 50 cent. 50 cent, yeah? And then here also must be number of, okay, 50 cent. Okay, now, I'm going to continue making parts equal, meaning you say if I cut a 10 below, I'm going to cut a 10 on top also, something like this, okay? Okay. And then, they say Gary only had 50-cent coin. It means everything here, right, okay, is number of 50-cent coin. Okay, so of the 3 children, who had the most money and who had the least? Okay, given that they have same number of coins, who will have the most? Everyone, who will have the most? Bearing in mind, E and F, they will have a mix of 20 cent and 50 cent. G, everything is 50 cent. Okay, y'all tell me, Gary will have the most. You're right. Okay, why? Because everything is 50 cent. 50 cent is higher value. Compared to some 20 cent, some 50 cent, confirm it will be lesser value in the end. Okay, because they have the same quantity, number of coins. Yeah, so Gary definitely had the most. Okay, who had the least? The person who had the least, right, it must be the person that has the most 20 cent coin, because 20 cent coin is less than 50 cent. So who has the most number of 20 cent coin? Okay, E got 7 20 cent coin, but F got 17 20 cent coin. So Freddy, very good. Yeah. So, okay, Freddy had the least. Okay. Okay. So minimally part A is like you all must get the answer lah. Correct. Okay. Okay, part B. What was the difference in the total value of Evan and Freddy's coin? Okay. Evan and Freddy is E and F. Okay. Now, I want you to look at this part, okay? This part, right, 7, 7, both are 20 cent coin, correct? So, what do you notice about if both are 20 cent coin? What will be the difference? Or there will be no difference. If here you have 7 20 cent coin, here also have 7 20 cent coin, what would you realize about the difference? Will they have any difference or not? 0. Yeah, because they're exactly the same, right? You 7 times 20 cent is $1 40 cent, right? And here you also be $1 40 cent. Okay, so this one will cancel away, right? Okay, then I want you to look here. Here is number of 50 cent. Here also number of 50 cent. And it's the same number, right? Same number of 50 cent for these 2 bars. So what can you also conclude here, everybody? Or is Freddy? Freddy. Okay, I will change that. Thank you. Freddy. Yes, Freddy. Okay, so what do you realize about this part for the 50 cent coin also? No difference, exactly. You also cancel away, So the difference what come from where? The difference come from the 10 50 cent coin that Evan have versus the 10 20 cent coin that Freddy has. That's the difference it come about. Okay, so to find the difference, right, you will take 10 times, okay, 50 cent, okay, which is what Evan have at this portion, minus 10 times 20 cent, okay, from Freddy, this portion. Okay, so over here, right, you are going to have the okay, so the difference, everybody, the answer is, can you let me know? Even without calculator, you all should know the value, right, for this one. Even though this is a paper 2 question, can I get all of your answers? Yeah, $3, huh? Okay, thank you. Okay, next one. Freddy donated all his 50 cent coin to the charity. Okay, he had $9.10 less than Gary. Okay, the fact that Freddy donated all his 50 cent, right, means Freddy here, all the 50 cent here, okay, all gone already. So means what? If all gone, left with what? Everybody left with what? Can you let me know? Left with what? Freddy now is left with how many 20 cent coin? Who can tell me? Then we can at least perform something here. Do something here first. 17, okay, 17. You have 17 20 cent coins, am I right? That is what Freddy left? Yes, so 17 times 20 cent, right? Freddy is left with $3.40. Given that he had $9.10 than Gary, can you tell me how to find Gary, everybody? Freddy got $3.40, but that amount is $9.10 less than Gary. What will y'all do? Let me know the approach. What will y'all do? Plus 9, 10. Correct. Because, okay, less than Gary means Gary will have that $9.10 more. So you'll add the $9.10. So Gary has $12.50. The fact that Gary has $12.50 and is all made up of 50 cents, everybody, what is the last step? How many 50-cent coins are there in $12.50? Very good, water turtle. Okay, you will take 12.50 divided by 50 cents. Okay, so that will then give you the answer, which is 25. Okay, for part C. Yeah. Yay, yep, we are done with this extra question. I just want to test whether you already remember what I teach you from the previous question. When they say Amina and Serene have same, okay, who can tell me when you see the keyword same, what are the two methods that should pop up in your mind? Okay, that you should be using for if you are a primary 6 student. Hello, Barry. Ratio and make all equal. Before you make all equal, you need to have yes, Terry, model and ratio. Thank you, Terry. Model and ratio. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so okay, for this one, which one is better? They each have a mix of 20 cent and 50 cent coin. Amina had 20 cent coin while Serene had Amina had 12 20-cent coin while Serene had 20 20-cent coins. So model, a lot of you tell me model. Yes, so Amina and Serene, right? You draw them having the same first. Okay. Then Amina has 12 20-cent coins, so I will just cut a 12. And then I will label the 12 is the 20-cent coin. Serene has 20 20-cent coins, so I'll cut a 20. Okay, and I will label this is the 20-cent coin. Okay, and then just now I teach you a technique. I will do something here. Okay, who can tell me what will I do? Thank you, Prapika, for sharing the live and Sophia for following. Yeah, what will I do here? Okay, very important technique for model so that you can see and analyze better. Make parts equal. Very good. Hello at 1010. Cut. Add. Cut, yes. So right, if this is a 20, I need you to cut the 12 down. Okay, so if you cut the 12 down, okay, 20 minus 12 is 8. Okay, by the way, don't forget it comes from the 20 here. This whole thing previously was a 20-cent coin. Okay, so 20 minus 12, I get an 8 here. Alright? Okay, now bearing in mind they have 20-cent coin and 50-cent coin, right? So if in front here already got 20-cent coin, means behind here we'll have the 50-cent coin. Okay, behind here we'll have the 50-cent coin. Remember I tell you to make parts equal. Once again, if you cut a 8 below, you will cut the 8 on top also. However, the only difference is the 8 here is 20-cent coin, but the 8 here is 50-cent coin. Okay, so that is the difference. Okay, in terms of quantity is both 8, but the 8 are representing different thing. Okay? Okay, who had more money? How much more? Okay, who can tell me this one? I think y'all can do this now better because we already have like a similar question just now that we did. Who had more money? How much more? Okay, Mika says Amina. Little Bob says Amina. Amina. Okay. Amina. Hello, is this Sarah or Xander? Amina, very good. Okay, why is it Amina? Because Amina has 12 20-cent coin, while Serene, right, has 20 20-cent coin, which in other words, right, if you have more 20-cent coin, you will have less 50-cent coin. If you have less 20-cent coin, you have more 50-cent coin. And if you have more 50-cent coin, you are going to have more money, because they have same quantity of coins. So the one that has more quantity for the one with the higher value, which is 50 cents, the person will have more money, right? I hope it makes sense to you, Amina. Yeah. Okay, how much more? Okay, so same logic, anybody that can already tell me the answer, feel free to let me know. Okay, so y'all tell me 8 times 0.5. Okay, is that all? Is that all? Will y'all also do something? Okay, bearing in mind, right, if you want to know how much more, right, okay, look at the part they are same first. You have 12 20-cent coin here. You have 12 20-cent coin here. So they are the same. There's no difference. So this part no need to compare, okay? Here is where it represent the 50-cent coin. Here is where you represent the 50-cent coin. So they will also make no difference. So this one, nothing much to focus on here as well. So the part that will make a difference, right, in terms of money is the 8 50-cent coin from Amina and 8 20-cent coin from Serene. So how do you get the answer? What school paper is this? Raffles Girls 2024 Prelim. Okay, very good. So a lot of y'all tell me 8 times 50 cent, 8 times 0.3? $4 minus 1.6. Yes, very good. Yes, because you got 8 50-cent coin here. Okay, so I can take 8 times 50 cent. Okay, that will make up a value of 400 cents. I got 8 20-cent coin here, so 8 times 20 cent, that will make up a value of 160 cents. Okay, let me just write it up more here. So the difference is 400 cents minus away 160 cents, you will get 240 cents. Okay, in terms of money, if you want to put it in dollars, then you all know that from cents to dollars, they are by 100. Okay, it's $2.40. Okay, this is how much more. Yeah, okay? All good, everybody? Okay, number 11. Let me continue, okay? Serene spent all her 20-cent coins. How much must Amina give to Serene so that they have the same amount of money? Okay, so Serene spent all her 20-cent coin. Let me get out the model from above and then I bring it down to show you how to do it, okay? Okay, so this model here, I copy and then I paste. Okay, and then let me just remove some redundant things. Okay, and then let me just patch everything up first so I can reuse this model. Okay. Is this the amount Amina minus the amount of Serene, then you divide? It is, okay, divide, yes. Okay. Amount of Amina minus amount of Serene, that one I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about your approach. So we'll have to see your answer. Yeah, by 2, yeah. This is booklet 2, paper 2, question 11. Yeah. Okay, so now let's look at this. Serene spent all her 20-cent coin. It means Serene, right? Okay, all her 20-cent coin previously it was 20-cent coin. Like everything here was 20-cent coin, right? Serene spent all her 20-cent coin means everything here, right, is spent. Okay, which means remove. Alright, so if you remove already, then your model, right, should be only left with like this. Okay, the yellow part. Okay, so now if it's left with the yellow part, right? Okay, let me just zoom in so we just focus on this. Remember, our model here is dealing with number of coins. Okay, it's dealing with quantity, not the value yet. Okay, value is like how many dollars. Okay, this is like number of 20 cent, number of 50 cent. So in terms of the value, okay, now if here is 50 cent and here is 50 cent, they confirm will be equal amount of value. Correct or not, everybody? Do you agree with me? Which also means, right, if I want to draw my model for the value, okay, this part here, because they are the same number of 50-cent coin, then they will produce the same amount of money in terms of value. Yeah. However, okay, this one is same, but however, the difference actually comes from here, right? This is the extra part that Amina now have, right? And how much value is this, everybody? Bearing in mind, here is your 20-cent coin and here is your 50-cent coin. Could you tell me how much value Amina has here extra? $2. You want to see carefully. Value, you see, if you got 12 20-cent coin already, how much value is that? Okay, Little Bob says $6.40. Yes, $6.40. Okay, how do you get $6.40? If you have 12 20-cent coin, okay, you are going to take 12 times 20 cent. And then you have 8 50-cent coin here also extra. So you plus 8 times 50 cent, right? So Amina currently, right, has 640 cents more in value. Okay? Which I will draw it here. The value here is 640 cents more, which is basically $6.40. 640 cents is $6.40. Okay? Okay, so the value now here and here is the same. Only difference is here. From my quantity model, I have already moved on to my value model. But how much must Amina give to Serene such that they will have equal? Okay? I got $3.20 as answer. Okay, then what about the rest? I'm just curious, what are your answers? Yes, $3.20 is correct, okay? Not 640 but 320, because if you just pass over the 640, then end up, right, it will just become Serene become 640 more. Or $6.40 more or 640 cents more. Right? We don't want that occasion. We want it to be same, so it means they must give half of this, right, over. Then they will have the same. So half of that 640 cents, you just divide by 2. Okay, that's how you get 320 cents, and 320 cents is basically $3.20. Okay, yeah, so that's how you solve this question. Oh, good. Yes, Ashlyn, okay, can understand now? You never know whether PSLE like to come out this type of question again. So far for the past 10 years, it has came out twice in paper 2. Okay, and there was a year, I don't know whether you all remember, it was the Helen and Ivan question year. It was also testing the same type of question. Yeah, so over the past 10 years, it already come out 2 times. This year, will it come out or not, we don't know. Maybe it's the 3rd time. Yeah. Can So, number 10, we have Mrs. Raja spent 1/3 of her money on a bag and 2 identical belts. Okay, so those of you who attended our workshop, I always tell you, right, when you see fraction, right, circle numerator, circle denominator, arrow to the keywords, okay? So your keywords right here, money, okay, that it must be your total 3 units, and 1 unit must be whatever she spent on the bag and the 2 identical belts. Okay, so I hope you can understand. Think Milo is wasting time. What do you think? What do you mean think Milo is wasting time? Did you give the Milo to your husband? Yeah, I give, but he also doesn't drink, so end up is wasted. Me and my Milo story. Okay, so the bag costs twice as much as each belt. Okay, when I see this, right, I will already straight away write down 1 bag is 2 unit. 1 belt is 1 unit, okay? Because twice 2 unit to 1 unit, okay? You also invested in my Milo story, yeah. So I pour with the Milo. That's why I tell him don't do that this time. Just give me the real Milo, then I will finish drinking it. Okay, Mrs. Raja spent 3/4 of her remaining money on a shirt. So, okay, 4 units is remaining money. Okay, this is what it represents. And 3 units is on the shirt. Okay, so you see the keyword remaining money. Okay, what method can you all use to do such question? You did this in school, I see. Give your daughter, cannot, my daughter, they are so young, like 3-year-old, 1-year-old. Okay, remaining. Differentiation, no lah, this is not A-math, This is only primary 6. Fraction. Everybody, when you see remainder type of question, okay, there are 2 methods that should pop out in your mind, right? Pythagoras theorem. Branching, yes. Hong Rui, branching, yes. Branching, okay. So, branching, there are a few kinds, okay? But let me show you the way I like to do it, okay? So, branching, I always start with total. Always have 2 branches, okay? Now, what is my total here? It comes from the money here, which is 3 unit, okay? So, I will put in 3 unit here. Out of 3 unit, 1 unit, okay, 1 unit is spent on a bag and 2 identical belts. So 1 unit is on the bag plus 1 bag plus 2 belts, okay? And then, hey, let me change color for this so it's a bit more consistent. Okay, then when you continue the branch, right? 3 minus 1, you will get 2 unit, which is your remainder. Okay, your remainder. So after you finish this branch already, now move on to the next fraction here. Okay, P5 actually, you will be tested this also. So good that you are here. Okay, Cass. So now your remainder is 4 unit from the fraction here, which we already arrowed it earlier on already, right? So it's easy for us to just go back and see. Take the number, 4 unit is your remainder. Out of 4 unit, 3 unit you went to spend on a shirt, right? Okay, so you're going to branch out 3 unit. Okay, you spend on the shirt. And last but not least, 1 unit is whatever you have left. Because 4 minus 3, you get 1 unit here. Alright, now, before I even start with this question, right, everybody, I will first tackle this and this. I want to join these 2 clues together. Okay, 1 bag is 2 unit, 1 belt is 1 unit. Here I have 1 bag and 2 belts. Okay, so I know my 1 bag is 2 units already. Okay, 2 unit. And then what about my 2 belts, everybody? How many units is that? If 1 belt is 1 unit, 2 belts is how many unit? Oh, hi Santana, your P6. Okay, 2 belt is how many unit? Thank you, Ellie, for following. 2 unit, very good. Okay, you are understanding very well. So together, 1 bag and 2 belts, right? Together they are 4 unit. Agree with me or not? Do you agree with me? You say yes. If you agree, then I'll continue. Okay? 1 bag and 2 belts is 4 units. This part can understand first? Is the answer 174? Very good. Yes, can understand, huh? If you can understand, then we need to make this 1 bag and 2 belts to 4 unit, right? Currently, just now, from the branch, it was 1 unit. But in actual fact, we need to make it to 4, right? So we need to do something, okay, to make it the same. We need to times what thing? Everyone? How do I make it to 4? 1 unit, I must times? Times. I'm a P5 and P6, times 4, very good, okay? Now, if I times 4 here, okay, the numbers for the same branch, right, they all come from the same family tree, you also need to times 4. So you times 4 also, times 4 also, you will have 12 unit and 8 unit. And it will make sense one, because 12 unit you branch out is 4, 12 minus 4 is 8, okay, it will make sense. Now, the next thing you're going to change, right, is that if your remainder is 8, here is 4, right? Which also represents your remainder. So I need to do something to this 4 unit also, such that my remainder is the same. Okay? Okay, Hong Rui say times 2. Yes. Okay? Gojo, why times 4 is because one bag is 2 unit, 1 belt is 1 unit based on this part. A bag costs twice as much as each belt. So a bag is 2 unit, a belt is 1 unit. So the fact is 1 bag and 2 belts, right? 1 bag is 2 units. 2 belts, if 1 belt is 1 unit, 2 belts is 2 units. So together they should be 4 units. That's why we need to times 4 here to make your bag and belt 4 units, okay? And if you times 4 here, you need to make sure you times 4 to all the numbers in the same branch also. Can I? And then why do you need to times 2 here? Because your remainder here is 8 unit. So to make your remainder here 4 unit also become an 8 unit, you must times 2. You must make it the same lah, basically. Okay? So you also must times 2 here, you will get 6 unit and 2 unit. Now I want you to do a check from bottom up to see whether it's correct or not. And when you are checking, right, I want you to circle it so that when you're circling means you are already done checking. So how you do it is like this. 6 plus 2, shirt plus left, check whether is it 8. 8, is it your remainder? 8 plus 4, does it give you a total is 12? If all your numbers match up, you circle already means you already check. Okay? Oh, hello, Amito. So if everything is okay, then we can get started with the question. She spent $58 more on the shirt than the bag. Okay? Your shirt is 6 unit, okay, from here. Your bag is 2 unit from here. Okay? So everybody, how many units is your $58? Able to tell? Okay, 4 unit, yes. Okay, Christopher is 4 unit because your shirt is 6 and your bag is 2. So the difference, right, the $58 more must be 6 unit minus the 2 unit. Okay, 6 unit minus the 2 unit, you will get the difference of $58. So 4 unit is $58. 1 unit is $58 divided by 4. That's how you get $14.50. Okay, and then 12 units. Okay, why 12 units? Because how much money did Mrs. Raja have at first? At first, we look at the total here, which is 12 units. So 12 units, right? From 1 unit to 12 units is 12 times $14.50. Okay, that's how you get $174 for this question. So let's look at C. Okay, to be able to solve for C, you will need a context here, okay, which is the diameter for this unshaded part is 28. So I'm going to bring down this fact, right, okay, to the diagram here whereby your diameter here of that unshaded part is your 28. So I'm going to pull this thing, okay, the 28, okay, I'm going to put it above. Yeah? Okay? And then the other clue that you all need to use, right, okay, which is just something from the first part, because they say two identical semicircle. So your semicircle is here, okay, and here. Which also means, right, if your diameter is 28 here, right, you will know that your diameter here is 28 also. And if you know your diameter is 28, right, then you 28 divided by 2, right, your radius is a 14. So you will know this radius is a 14. And then you bring this clue, right, back to part C here. Okay, I hope you all still can remember the context just now. Could you all let me know this part, what value it is again? From the previous part, do you all still remember what I told you? I zoom in again to show you all. Do you remember? Remember they say this semicircle is the same as this semicircle? So if the diameter is 28, what is the radius, everyone? What is the radius here? Yes, it's 14, right? Okay, so you mark it out 14 here also. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So, then, what else? Okay, let's segregate the figure maybe up to here when we see what's going on. So if you realize, right, if you split this figure a bit more, okay, can you tell me what value is this? Is it here, everybody? Take a look, it's where it cuts like this, right? Isn't this part, this semicircle, the same as this semicircle? So what is the radius here, everybody? Can you tell me what is the value that I can put here? Radius is only like that, right? Radius, okay, 14, not 28, okay, 14. Okay, good, Okay, so I want you to see the pattern occurring right here. Do you see that the pattern occurs something like that one? Can you see it's always like that? Huh? At first it's like that, then they become like that, then become like that, it's like that. But they are technically the same thing, right? Isn't it? They are the same thing. Your radius, 14, okay? Then after that, okay, here is your diameter is 28, and then here is your radius 14 again. You realize the pattern keep repeating, right? Then if you see this pattern, right, that keep repeating, your one set, right? Okay, what do you all do? You all guide me through this. They are the same. They are the same. It's just that the orientation is different only. Okay, Yeming, they are the same. So what is your one set? What will y'all do to find one set? Come. Let me see. So sorry, can we go a bit faster? I need to go soon. Okay, I'll chung it out for you. Okay, Katie. So your one set, right, is, what your times plus, 14 plus 28 plus 14. I just want to know the whole length here, okay, everybody? So 14 plus 28 plus 14, right, your one set is 56. Okay? Okay, now, once you get this, you see, they have 19 of such figures. 19 of such figures, and the arrangement of the first 8 and the last 3 are shown in figure 2, which they show us here, Okay? So, okay, in your one set, I want you to think, right, in your one set, how many shaded are there? Okay, why I want you to think how many shaded are there? Because they give us 19 of such shaded figures. So I want you to tell me, right, in your one set, how many shaded are there? Figure, okay, by the way, when they talk about shaded figure, right, they are referring back to this shape, okay, like that one. So how many of this shape are there, the shaded in your one set here? How many of this shape do you have? Yes, it's 2 because one shaded here and another shaded here, right? So in your one set, you have 2 shaded figures, okay, everybody? So the fact that, okay, you got 19 of such shaded figure, bearing in mind, right, you have one out here. Okay, you have one out shaded there. You must take 19 minus 1. You're left with 18 shaded. Okay, 18 shaded is how many sets? Everyone. 18 shaded is how many sets? One set is 2 shaded. So 18 shaded is 18 divided by 2 is 9 sets exactly. So if you have 9 sets, right? Okay, if one set is 56, by the way, they want the length, so that's why I'm tackling the length. If one set got 56 cm, I suppose it's cm from the previous one, yes. Okay, if one set is 56 cm, 9 sets is 9 times 56 cm, you'll get 504 cm. It means like all the way, your length, right? Okay, all the way until the 9 set here, you will get 504 cm. But then don't forget your odd one out, that last odd one out, right? Okay, last step already. You can guide me through. How do I find this? Okay, let me zoom it in for you. Okay, what is this? And what is this? Okay, can you see? This is your radius, this is your diameter, right? So what's the value you need to add also? Plus 56. How do you get 56? I suppose you took the radius is 14 again, like this. And then the diameter is 28 again, right? 28 again. So 14 and also the 28 here. So together, okay, finally is 504 plus 14 plus 28. That's how you get 546. That is the length of your cloth made up of this whole thing. Okay? Yeah, 546. 546 cm. I hope that's clear.